We start here in Japan, where the Prime Minister signaled his intentions to end the COVID-19 state of emergency for Tokyo and 3 neighboring prefectures as scheduled on Sunday.
I'm planning to lift the state of emergency set to expire on Sunday. I will make a final decision after hearing opinions from experts on Thursday.
The state of emergency began in January and has been extended twice. Government officials say the measure has helped ease the strain on the healthcare system. Tokyo officials reported 409 new coronavirus cases on Wednesday. This is the first time in about a month that the daily tally has exceeded 400. The past 9 days have all seen increases compared to the same day a week before. Some experts are concerned that the latest numbers don't paint a positive picture as Sunday approaches.
In some areas, the decline in new infections has leveled out, or the number has even started to increase. The area where new cases could rebound is widening.
Experts are also warning of a possible rapid spread of variants, which may be more infectious than the original strain. Nearly 400 cases of the variants have been confirmed in the country, most of them the UK one. Across Japan, more than 1,500 new cases were reported on Wednesday. About half of them were in the Tokyo area. Turning to Myanmar, where violent crackdowns against anti-coup protesters are continuing, despite the imposition of martial law on parts of the largest city, Yangon. A body of ousted lawmakers appears to be calling for the support of all ethnic armed forces in Myanmar to cooperate to fight against the military takeover. On Wednesday, thousands of citizens in areas where martial law has been imposed are escaping to elsewhere. One area under martial law was the scene of a deadly crackdown and factory fires on Sunday. Residents say some internet access is cut off and gunfire can be heard during the day and night. Meanwhile, a group of the ousted lawmakers, including members of Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy, issued a statement on Wednesday. It announced on their own accord that it had removed all ethnic armed forces from the government's list of terrorist or unlawful organizations. Experts say the move is aimed at urging armed groups to cooperate with anti-coup demonstrators to resist the military. Earlier, the ousted lawmakers called on the public to resist the military, saying self-defense is not criminal. Concerns are growing over the intensifying clashes between protesters and security forces. A broad range of workers in Myanmar, including even public servants, are now involved in the civil disobedience movement, or CDM, which is affecting the daily lives of people. NHK World's Uchida Susumu reports.
Some groups are participating in protests through the workplace. Medical workers are protesting in their uniforms. This Ministry of Electricity and Energy employees are also on strike. This woman walked off the job in early February, a week after the coup.
I'm a government employee, but I serve the people. I want to work under a government elected by the people. That's why I support the demonstrations.
She lives with her parents in Yangon and says the CDM has impacted their lives. Her ailing mother has been unable to receive medical treatment because a number of staff at her hospital have joined the CDM. In addition, she is feeling uneasy because little by little she is running low on money. Salaries in Myanmar are often paid in cash at the workplace. On this day, she talked with a co-worker who also walked off the job about a return to work order.
I worry that management is pressuring employees taking part in CDM to return to work.
As the protests drag on, one doctor is raising funds from colleagues working abroad to help striking public servants who are struggling financially.
We need people who will connect those who need support to people who want to contribute. I'm happy to be a go-between.
However, the doctor was unable to withdraw the money. ATMs have run out of cash as the bank personnel who maintain them have also joined the CDM. But one of the supporters' relatives living in Myanmar was able to provide an equivalent amount of the funds in cash to pay the salaries of more than 20 people.
The CDM involves great risks, but public servants are taking the risk to stand up for what they believe in. I respect them for it, and it makes me happy. I hope public servants continue to take part, and I will support them for as long as they need it.
The people of Myanmar appear determined to continue their peaceful protests in the struggle for democracy. Uchida Susumu, NHK World.
The foreign and defense chiefs of the United States are visiting South Korea, the second stop of their Asia tour following Japan. They've stressed the importance of cooperation among allies to counter the threats posed by North Korea's nuclear and missile programs.
We'll continue to work together with the ROK and other allies and partners, including Japan, toward denuclearization of the DPRK.
South Korean Foreign Minister Chung Wi-yong said the alliance with the U.S. is the main pillar of his country's foreign policy. He said it's a linchpin for peace in Northeast Asia and the world. Earlier in the day, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin met with his South Korean counterpart.
Given the unprecedented challenges posed by both the Democratic People's Republic of Korea and China, the U.S.-ROK alliance has never been more important.
It is of utmost importance to maintain a combined defense posture and formidable deterrence against North Korea.
The four officials will sit down together for talks on Thursday. The meeting comes as a senior U.S. military official warns that North Korea may begin testing an improved version of its intercontinental ballistic missiles in the near future.
The parade, the public parade we saw on the 10th of October, we saw additional capabilities and additional missiles.
After wrapping up talks in South Korea, Blinken is scheduled to travel to Alaska to meet with the two top Chinese officials in charge of foreign affairs. China has defended its ban on pineapple imports from Taiwan and accused the ruling party in Taipei of politicizing the matter. Chinese customs authorities imposed the ban on March 1st, citing pests. Taiwanese authorities say no pests have been detected since control measures were tightened last October. The ruling Democratic Progressive Party says the ban is politically motivated. A spokesperson for the Taiwan Affairs Office of China's State Council spoke to reporters about the ban on Wednesday.
We notified Taiwan of 28 cases last year in which its pineapples were disqualified. But unfortunately, the problem has yet to be addressed. The ban is a normal scientific biosafety control measure.
She accused Taiwan's ruling party of politicizing the technical procedure and slandering the mainland. The ban has prompted Japanese, U.S., and Canadian representative offices in Taipei to express support for Taiwan's campaign. Orders from Japan are said to be rising as well. It's time now for a check of the world weather. Tens of millions of people in the southern United States are at a risk of wild weather, including tornadoes. Our meteorologist Sayaka Mori has the details.
Hello there. Extremely dangerous conditions are expected to pound the southeastern United States from Wednesday to Thursday. We might be seeing huge and also strong tornadoes in the southeast. Now, this is the storm maker. This storm has a history of dumping heavy snow in and around the Four Corners region and also caused a dust storm in and around the desert southwest. It's dragging cold and dry air from the north, and ahead of the system, warm and humid air is surging in, so the combination will cause very dangerous conditions. Right now, we have blizzard warnings in place in and around the Texas Panhandle. Now, this is the forecast for your Wednesday. There is a concern for severe thunderstorms in the deep south, especially over the lower Mississippi Valley as well as Alabama. There is a high risk for severe thunderstorms too. Very dangerous weather is expected. We are talking about tornadoes, very large hail, as well as damaging winds. And as we go into Thursday, the threat will be shifting towards the east, reaching the Carolinas. So wet weather, dangerous rough weather will both affect many places of the southeast for the next several days. Meanwhile, weather was pretty warm on Wednesday. Tokyo saw about 20 degrees. Yokohama saw 19 degrees. Cherry blossoms began blooming there. That was the second earliest on record for the city. Saga saw 22 degrees. Flowers began blooming there too. Now, it's going to be sunny at least for the next couple of days, but it's going to be another stormy day for a weekend for many places of Japan. We might be looking at gusty conditions too on Sunday in Tokyo. Now, before we go, I want to show you a beautiful video coming out of Mito. Large weeping cherry trees at Mito Daishi Rokujizo Temple in Ibaraki Prefecture have begun to bloom. Some of the cherry blossoms appeared on Sunday, which is about a week earlier than usual. The weeping cherry trees are likely to be in full bloom next week. That's it for me. Have a nice day.
The head of the European Commission has threatened to withhold vaccine exports to countries outside of the EU that don't supply them in a reciprocal way. Ursula von der Leyen said the EU is still waiting for some shipments from the UK. The European Union is proposing a digital certificate to kickstart foreign travel. The aim is to enable anyone vaccinated against COVID-19 or who has tested negative recently or who has recently recovered from the virus to travel within the EU. Police in Atlanta have charged a suspect with 4 counts of homicide over a mass shooting at 3 spa and massage parlours. 6 of those who died were Asian women. The suspect has denied having a racial motive. And the first polls in the Netherlands suggest Mark Rutte may be on course to win a 4th term in office. Initial projections show his VVD party will win 35 seats.